That's better from Tony
That is
Zorzi.
very good. And Kutsia trying to strike, is going for runs here. That's 11 off the over so far. This wicket taker, Kutsia, who's away from us now. And that's on the pads to Zorzi, and I think he's going to double his score with that. He does indeed. You were saying, Tariq, good for him to go on this tour to Australia. And that is a lovely shot from Zorzi. For the left-hander Zorzi, he'll have one more left in the Kutsia over to face. He's away from us now. Gerald Kutsia around the wicket, and it's too short and wide outside the off stump, and Zorzi does not miss out. What you'd want to see from Zorzi. Good delivery from Swanepoel, that one. Nice amount of flight. A bit of flight, a bit of dip is what you want. That's far too short though, and it gets the punishment down to the North Pavilion, just in fact to the left of the Oaks.
And wouldn't affect the bowling lineup at all. But that is a beautiful shot by Tony Zorzi. Just allowed it to come onto the bat. And that's just off the hip, and he'll pick up another boundary. So that's the second boundary of the over for Tony Zorzi.
The partnerships. Big edge from Zorzi. Mali and Tony Zorzi, they run really well between the wickets. More often than not, they'll turn ones into twos as this short ball by Swanepoel dispatched by Tony Zorzi, and that'll bring up the half century.
And that's a lovely little deflection by Zorzi, drifting into the pads.
Packed offside field for Tony Zorzi again. Two fielders in short in the cover region. Straight and long goes Tony Zorzi all the way.
In the field, and he's got a slip man at 45, halfway to the boundary, and that's another massive shot from Zorzi. That has gone miles running in from his position. And Zorzi takes it on, and that has gone into the railway stand, and that is his third maximum of the inning. You've now got a ring field on the offside. There's a slip, and the only man in the deep is the man at long off, and he's going to play that with the cut off the inside edge. He's going to play it down to a fine third man. He is absolutely overjoyed as Tony Zorzi. We see the last ball from Aubrey Swanepoel. Zorzi plays it beautifully into the into the leg side. It's missed, unfortunately, by the fielder there. That Kleinfeld's gone through for 4.
Yesterday, of the field and of Newlands and of the view. And I'm not being biased here, James, but this is the most beautiful ground in the world.
It is.
That's lovely played
Well
by
played.
Tony Zorzi.
Very well played.
He plays it back with the third man late. That was beautiful, and that just shows you a man informed.
That throughout the day and the rest of the broadcast, and just give you that more of that information. But please, with Aubrey Swanepoel now bowling from the Kelvin Grove end, that's muscled is I think the only word for it by Tony Zorzi. Indeed, David, as beautifully played by Zorzi. That one is on the up through the offside and goes down to the boundary in front of the Oaks. That's played very fine, too short down the leg side, and Zorzi plays that beautiful field. All have very important fielding roles to play there. And that's beautifully played by Zorzi back down the ground, and Newlands van Heerden can give that up immediately. He's not...
That is the 150 for Tony Zorzi. Very, very well played by the Western Province left-hander. He has shown his immense potential as Tony Zorzi. James, you've watched him over the last couple of weeks, and this just rubber stamping his talent, isn't it?
Absolutely right, and putting that's a cherry on top for him. Double 150s last week and this week. And just what's been so impressive, Zaahier, is the way in which he's paced his innings, the way he's left the ball. Is David Brooke. I'm James King, the Cape Fox, as it's Alfred Matoa who's bowling to Tony Zorzi. First ball after lunch is pummeled into the offside. Beautifully played. I must not, pummeled is perhaps the wrong word. Beautifully played into the offside in front of the scoreboard for 4. Lovely way to start the afternoon, David.
A juicy half volley, just like the lunch was a juicy
It was lovely.
lunch. As Newlands van Heerden continues to Tony
Oh,
Zorzi.
Zorzi going to get 4 for that. It's on the pads and he just tickles that down to the leg side. He's also got a man in short. 350 comes up for the 6-gun grill Western Province lineup. It's going to be Budaza to Zorzi short, and Zorzi plays that beautifully wide of the man diving in the deep, and that is Gerald Coetzee, but he can't cut that one off, and Zorzi takes full toll of that short ball from Umbalelo Budaza as Coetzee into Zorzi. Zorzi pulls him beautifully, and it's way over the head of the man in front of the railway stand, and that is his 4th 6 of his innings. Tony Zorzi goes to 197.
James, that is a fantastic shot.
It is amazing.
I don't care whether he's on 191 or 9 for that matter.
Incredible.
That is Gerald Coetzee, who's arguably the quickest bowler on the domestic circuit outside of the Proteas.
Yeah.
And there is a man directly on square.
Yeah.
And Tony Zorzi felt absolutely nothing of taking him on.
It was Tariq with me in the commentary box describing his 100, and that will be the double 100. Take us to that, Zaahier.
That is a fantastic knock there by the young man. He's absolutely thrilled with that. He salutes his teammates who are all up in applause. Tony Zorzi, take a bow, young man. You have put together an innings of complete class here. 200 of 279 balls, 19 boundaries, and as you saw earlier, 4 sixes. That is Newlands. We might have a new hero here and under the Oaks.
Indeed, he played well there, coming into that team, and here it's showing his form coming through significantly.
Saw Lawrence Bailey's comments there. He's been a big fan of Tony Zorzi on social media. As Tony just once again just shows his class, rocks back and just dispatches it over mid-wicket for another boundary. 1980s and early 1990s. That's what spurred him on to basically topple Western Province from their perch.
I mean, what a time that was for Eastern Province cricket. Zaahier, you talk about that Kepler Wessels era. Took a team that really had underperformed for so long, and that's gone through everything. It's gone underneath the bat of Zorzi, through the legs of Jean-Claude down for... Oh, he hit it. My goodness. He obviously got an under edge onto that one there. Made a cross-batted shot, and that has taken him within 2 runs of his highest ever first-class score. Oh, that's from Zorzi through the hands of the man at backward point. 50 Partnership comes up with that shot, and they're really opening up now. Matthew Kleinfeld can do nothing with that one, and hit forcibly. 52 of 66 balls. Linda 13, Zorzi 39 of these runs.
I think, it's something to build on. Depends on how long Buren and Patterson is going to play for them.
That's another delightful shot there by Tony Zorzi. Since he's reached 200, he's just put on the skids.
Yeah, over the last
day
and a half.
2 weeks,
2
actually,
weeks.
yeah.
That's actually true. Yeah. Last week was equally full of flair and equally full of grit and determination at the beginning. So, I mean...
well, the good thing is that, for me, is to see young batters playing the longer version very well.
Absolutely.
They love batting.
Cannot agree with you more.
And they prepared.
That is a beauty. That's his 5th maximum. Takes him into the 230s. He is on fire. Wow.
If anybody, I'll say it again, if you're around in the southern suburbs, come down and catch a glimpse of Tony Zorzi, because he's turning it on right now.
It's just, it cannot be easy for those Knights players out there in the middle. And I mean, if you're the batting team and now, Omar, what would you'd be saying? Just, you know, you want to keep them out there, keep them guessing as to when they're going to come in and
600.
bat? 600. Yeah, it's possible.
600.
Easily
20
possible.
minutes before
Close of play,
close
half
of
an
play,
hour.
and
Yeah,
let them come and have a knock.
Mr. Henry is the old school. He will grind you into the sand, into the turf. You will appreciate every little ball that's going to be bowled here. That is the old school, not giving an inch, is Mr. Henry.
There's one thing about this game, is when you've got a team down, you grind them down.
Yeah.
Because memories is a very good thing.
As it's into Zorzi. Zorzi gets, not sure what that was on it. It may have been bats. In fact, it was a bat just off the inside edge. And that takes him to his first ever 250. Yes, you heard it right. 250 to Zorzi. 250 off 326 deliveries. 23 fours and 5 sixes. 250 to Tony Zorzi, and that is an incredible achievement for the young man.
Man did a lot of hard work in the off season, working in his body.
Oh,
and
that's a beauty.
Has that been smashed off the ground?
It has. It is out the ground. It is a valiant attempt on the boundary to stop that going over in front of the railway stand, but the young man there lying on the ground now, I'm not quite sure who that was. We'll try and just get the glass. It looks like Newlands van Heerden. In fact, it is Newlands van Heerden. He's been in the wars today with that body of his, and he has tried desperately to take that catch. Realised he was over the boundary, tried to throw it back in after having caught it, but unable to do so, and that moves Zorzi to 259. And this one, he's absolutely pummeled that one for the record into the railway stand on the western side of the ground. Tony Zorzi now has the highest score for any batter for the Western Province, six-gun grill Western Province team in the 4-day era. That includes the era for the Cobras. Overtakes Peter Milan and JP Duminy in one shot to go from third place on the list up into the top 265 not out. 2 maximums in succession to get him there, and he just trots through now for the single, and that is an incredible innings. And joining me once again in the commentary box is Zaahier Adams, and you join us just as Gerald Coetzee bowls a full bunger outside the off stump, and Tony Zorzi dispatches him to the backward point boundary for 4.
Doing his bit.
Coetzee in again, and Zorzi plays this one beautifully down. That is going to get to the boundary, and he gets the 4 he was looking for.
You know, the few boys behind the scenes working really hard to make it something to look forward to.
And that's
But
so
why do
beautifully
you want to
played by
watch?
Zorzi. It's going to go to the boundary for 4, and he's through past Heinrich Klaassen's third highest score. He goes to 295. He is potentially one scoring shot, as one feels it. He may be a little bit more circumspect on this. Who knows?
Why would you want to watch 2020 cricket when you can see somebody lace a red ball through the covers in there?
Beautiful. We now await in the next over the opportunity once again for Tony Zorzi to become only the 3rd man in 4-day first-class cricket in South Africa since 2004-2005 to score a 100.
What an achievement will be, but as we all know in cricket, superstitions: do not move your seat, do not leave your seat, do not
don't go anywhere.
anywhere. Stay exactly where you are. For Tony De Zorzi is on the brink of a momentous moment in his career.
On here into Zorzi, plays it straight to the man at mid-off. Not going to come off that ball. If you've asked your significant other to make you a cup of tea, coffee, or something else stronger, make sure it's in the same cup you had earlier.
Fantastic. Just loving Tony's concentration here. He knows he's getting close, but he's absolutely single-minded in his pursuit here.
Beautiful. Through the gap! He's got it! Whoa!
That is the 300 for Tony De Zorzi. Take a bow, young man. You have played superbly well here at Six Gun Grill Newlands. You deserve all the applause that you are getting, for this has been a momentous knock, a magical innings. Nande Burger embraces him and says, well done, Tony De Zorzi. That's 300 on the board.
302 of 380 balls, 550 minutes, 28 fours, 7 sixes, played the ball all around the ground, and he becomes the first man in the blue of Western Province to score a 100 in the 4-day domestic competition. Wow. And they are declaring with the score on 575 for 7. De Zorzi is not out for 304, and the captain has called them in, and having got to the milestone, being congratulated by every single player in the ITEC Knights team. That's really great to see. They understand how this all works and how great this innings has been. And despite the fact they've been chasing leather for 135 or 136 overs, it is that incredible camaraderie that makes this such a great game. And well done, Tony De Zorzi. What an amazing innings.
There's no greater appreciation than that of your colleagues, and each and every Knights player came across to him and wished him well, and the entire province team were out there, applauding him, for that was a magnificent innings, which eventually ends with Tony De Zorzi not out 304, playing a pivotal role in Western Province, is 575 for 7. As you see the numbers, Tony De Zorzi 304. He was at the crease for 558 minutes, 382 balls he faced, striking 28 boundaries and 7 sixes. What an innings by this young man.